कैश हर खुशी के लिए काफी है। Co-presented by OnDC, your gateway to crypto.
Hello and welcome. You're with us here on Business Today. I'm Abha Bakaya. Here are the top stories tonight. Sixth straight day of gains on Dalal Street. Sensex rallies over 350 points. Nifty settles above 17,800, led by auto and FMCG stocks. Wholesale price inflation eases slightly to 13.93% in July, still remains high due to prices of food articles and edible oil. 16th straight month of double-digit price rise. Your milk becomes costlier by 2 rupees per litre. Dairy majors Amul and Mother Dairy have hiked its milk prices amid increase in overall cost of operation and production. Revised price will come in effect from tomorrow. Brent crude falls to $95 levels on global recession fears. Downbeat US and Chinese economic data spooks investors. Big relief for the rupee and the government. Two more Bollywood icons fail at the box office. Lal Singh Chaddha and Raksha Bandhan flop as viewers steer clear of the films. Is it a win for the social media against the mighty Amir Khan? Indian markets ended more than 0.5% higher today. Both the Sensex and Nifty on the back of positive global cues. Sensex closing 379 points or 0.64% higher, while the Nifty ended 127 points in the green. Index heavyweights such as M&M, Maruti Suzuki, Asian Paints, HDFC Life, Adani Port and Eicher Motors, some of the top movers today. On the flip side, Grasim, Hindalco, JSW Steel, Bharti Airtel, State Bank of India and Bajaj Finance, some of the index laggards. Broader markets, the BSE mid-cap and small-cap indices settled 1% higher each. India's very own Warren Buffett, Rakesh Jhujhunwala's passing away has put a spotlight on the 30,000 crore rupee worth of stocks held by the famed investor, whose trades were always closely followed. Sakshi Batra gets you his top holdings and the biggest hits and misses of RJ's portfolio.
Well, the passing away of the big bull is truly the end of an era. Rakesh Jhujhunwala has left behind him a legacy of taking the equity cult to the masses and a portfolio worth nearly 32,000 crore rupees. Some of his biggest holdings at the end of the June quarter in terms of value included names like Titan, the stock that elevated Jhujhunwala from just another successful investor to one of the world's greatest. He held a 5.05% stake in Titan worth about 11,000 crores. 5.5% stake in CRISIL, a great bet from the early 2000s, which is now worth more than 1,300 crore rupees. Also, when you talk about a 17.5% stake in Star Health, which is now worth over 7,000 crore rupees in his portfolio. A 14.4% stake in Metro Brands. Now, while the initial investment by Jhujhunwala in this company is unknown, today Metro Brands is one of the biggest bets in his portfolio, which is amounting to 3348 crore rupees. And a 1% stake in Tata Motors worth about 1731 crores. Now, some of the other significant holdings of his portfolio also include 23.4% stake in Aptech, a 12.5% stake in NCC, over a 10% stake in Nazara Tech, a 9.8% stake in Rallis India, around 8% stake in Agrotech Foods, Vatek Vabag and Geojit Financial Services, among others. Overall, he has a 47 company portfolio at the end of June quarter in his portfolio as well. Some of these he held for over 10 years too. Now, while some of his calls have proven to be big hits, there are others that have also gone wrong. And among his big misses, one would count Diwan Housing Finance, which perhaps was one of the biggest miscalculations of Jhujhunwala's investing career. In 2013, Jhujhunwala bought 25 lakh shares at 135 rupees a share for 34 crores. Just a decade later, the company went into liquidation. Mandhana Retail, one of the RJ's biggest bets in in his career, that is bombed. He also bought about a 12% stake in this company in 2016 when the stock was trading at around 247 rupees a share. He exited when the stock was down at 16 rupees. However, perhaps in a tribute to the legend today, we saw shares of Singer India, the company that is engaged in the business of manufacturing sewing machines, getting locked at upper circuit of 20% amid reports that Rakesh Jhujhunwala's firm, Rare Enterprises, has bought over a 10% stake in the company through a bulk deal. However, the final data of the bulk deal will come later, giving us the confirmation of the same as well.
Mahindra & Mahindra has finally boarded the electric vehicle bandwagon by announcing a portfolio of 5 vehicles to be launched over the next 5 years. One of the pioneers of the Indian EV market, M&M has lagged in charging up its electric lineup. The company has, however, tied up with Volkswagen for a product blitz starting December 2024.
Mahindra & Mahindra is powering up its SUV portfolio with 5 futuristic-looking electric vehicles. Designed at its new centre near London, the e-SUVs are being built with technology from Volkswagen. On offer are 2 e-SUV brands, the XUV and the Born Electric or BE. The XUV brings the legacy vehicles in an electric avatar, in the process changing their looks completely. Both the XUVs, E8 and E9, will be larger in dimensions than the current XUV 700. The high-profile BE range will meanwhile be a completely new construct, having been designed at Mahindra's newly minted Oxfordshire studio. The top-of-the-line range will have 3 vehicles, the BE E5, E7 and E9.
I have every reason to believe that we can, in fact, lead in the 4-wheeler electric segment. Mahindra Advanced Design Europe will be the vanguard of our thrust into electric vehicles.
The big features, L2 plus automation, which translates into adaptive cruise control, lane centering control and other adaptive driving features. The e-SUVs will also be connected via 5G technology, enabling the occupants to control home and other appliances from the vehicle. The 5 vehicles will sport relatively powerful engines, promising an output of between 227 to 390 horsepower. The company is betting on long range, efficiency and performance in its electric portfolio. The first launch, that of the XUV E8, is planned for December 2024. The next year will see 2 more launches, while the BE E7 is to be launched in October 2026. Interestingly, Mahindra was one of the first big Indian car companies to dip its fingers in the electric car market when it bought Reva in May 2010. The electric mini car was even exported to the European nations. This was followed up with the e-Verito, one of the electric vehicles adopted by various government offices under the Energy Efficiency Services Limited, the EESL scheme. The company, however, lost traction, falling behind to the supercharged Tata drive to capture the Indian market with its Nexon and other models. However, with both companies announcing their futuristic models to be launched over the next few years, the stage is set for a battle of the equals. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
Will India at 100 see Bollywood surviving? This is what people are asking, as 2 more high-profile releases timed for an extended weekend have flopped, rejected by the Indian audience. Even personal entreaties by Aamir Khan and Akshay Kumar could not save their latest films.
The darling of Indian cinema, an actor with a Midas touch, turning the most unlikely of plots and twists into box office hits. Last Singh Chadda running in cinemas but going nowhere. And before this, the bombastic Thugs of Hindustan failing miserably in the box office. Even prayers did not work for Aamir.
इस दफ़ा भी 1 महीने से मुझे नींद नहीं आ रही है, सो नहीं पा रहा हूँ। लेकिन आज मैं सुबह गया था दरबार साहिब गोल्डन टेम्पल, और वहाँ जाने के बाद मुझे इतना सुकून महसूस हुआ है कि अब मुझे लगता है कि जैसा होगा ठीक ही होगा।
An extended weekend of 5 days did not help the film made with a budget of 180 crore rupees. After earning 11.7 crore rupees on Thursday, the film managed just 7.87 crore on 15th of August. A national holiday managing 45.83 crore rupees over the 5-day extended weekend, much lower than the 51 crore rupees Thugs of Hindustan had earned on its first day. Even the other big banner release of the Independence Day weekend, Akshay Kumar's Raksha Bandhan, flopped. The film couldn't even manage an average of over 7 crore rupees over the 5-day weekend, earning just under 35 crore rupees. It's not only that Bollywood films are dropping like 9 pins in the post-COVID era. Some of the biggest releases like 83, Jersey, Bachchan Pandey, Heropanti 2, Samrat Prithviraj and Shamshera have tanked at the box office. However, the two films released this weekend, especially Lal Singh Chadda, found themselves at war with social media warriors. Amir Khan continues to face flack over his old remarks on intolerance in the country and his visit to Turkey 2 years ago. The boycott Lal Singh Chadda hashtag on social media is still trending, 6 days after the film was released. Appeals by Kareena Kapoor Khan failed to sway the audience.
All our fans who are waiting to see us, I think this is the perfect treat for them. Already internationally इतना प्यार मिल रहा है, reviews इतने अच्छे हैं, and our fingers are crossed, of course. And yeah, it's all yours now. But I'm quite sure that सबको बहुत पसंद आएगी.
There are also reports that theatre owners have cancelled nearly 1,000 screenings of the two movies after their dismal show. Amir is also expected to compensate distributors who stand to lose a bundle on the film. A big fall from grace for the top Khan. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
The industry leader Ratan Tata has announced an undisclosed investment into startup Goodfellows that offers companionship to senior citizens as a service. The chairman emeritus of the Tata Group has been an active backer of startups ever since he retired from the helm of the Salt2 Software Group. The latest startup he's investing in is founded by Shantanu Naidu, a 25-year-old Cornell University graduate who, along with being a general manager in Tata's office, has been assisting him since 2018. He shares Tata's love for dogs and strays and had previously started a venture around pets as well. Goodfellows hires young graduates having the right skills of empathy and emotional intelligence to work as the senior citizen client's companions and ease the day for them with any tasks or simply just talk with them.
All the affection that I have for this particular generation and intergenerational friendship stems from Mr. Tata, and the kind of access to the sea of wisdom that I get and the kind of tomfoolery that I do is what sort of keeps us going. So thank you for your mentorship, friendship, and for your investment, which all the people that you see in green here today are thankful for. So everyone, if you want to say thank you.
You don't know what it's like to be lonely until you spend time alone, wishing for companionship. I also feel that you don't mind getting old until you get old, and then you find it's a different world, and a world of genuine feelings for one another, and the good-natured companionship that we all take for granted. I've found that it takes a lot more than that.
And here's what else is making news in the corporate world. Budget carrier SpiceJet signs a settlement agreement with aircraft leaser Go-Shock Aviation and others. The settlement was for 2 Boeing 737 MAX and 1 Boeing 737-800 NG aircraft. The airline said the agreement ends all litigation proceedings between parties. Adani Logistics acquires inland container depot TUM for 835 crore rupees. The company has acquired the company in line with its strategy to build integrated transport, utility and pan-Indian logistics. Paytm partners with Samsung stores to facilitate smart payments. Consumers purchasing Samsung devices from any authorized store across India will be able to pay via Paytm's payment options and all major debit, credit and prepaid cards. US retailer Walmart Inc. strikes a deal with Paramount Global to offer Paramount Plus streaming service to the subscribers. This will help Walmart compete with Amazon.com Inc. Members of Walmart Plus will get access to Paramount's essential plans. We take a very quick break. On that note, back with more on the other side.
La main des aides-soignants. Pourquoi ? Parce que les aides-soignants aujourd'hui, ils sont globalement sous l'eau. Ils ne peuvent plus faire leur métier qui est de soigner. Et donc nous, Emobots, on leur fournit cette information de l'état émotionnel. Ils vont pouvoir mieux comprendre l'évolution de l'émotion de leurs résidents, de leurs patients. Et derrière, on sera aussi capable d'objectiver. C'est-à-dire qu'aujourd'hui, quand on fait un test pour la dépression, c'est un test normé, ponctuel, où on demande à la personne de verbaliser les informations. Et donc ça pose plein de problèmes. Et notamment de difficultés pour les personnes qui ne peuvent pas verbaliser.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
Welcome back. The wholesale price-based inflation eased to 13.93% in July on easing prices of food articles and manufactured products. However, the WPI continues to remain in double digits for the 16th consecutive month. Let's head across to Sakshi Batra for more details.
That's right. Looks like there could be some respite from sky-high prices for the common man as India's wholesale inflation has eased to a 5-month low of 13.9% in July from 15.18% in June. Remember, the WPI for May was revised to a record high of 16.63%. So a continuous decline for the second straight month. Also, although we have seen that the WPI continues to remain in double digits for the 16th consecutive month, beginning April of 2021. Now, inflation in July, as per the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, was primarily contributed by the rise in prices of mineral oils, food articles, crude, petroleum and natural gas, basic metals, electricity and also chemicals. Remember, the food article segment has actually eased to 10.77% in July versus a 14.4% in June. The month-on-month decline can actually be attributed to a steep fall in the vegetable prices, which have eased to 18.25% in July from a whopping rise of 56.75% in June. In fruit, the prices of potato climbed 53.5% in July, while that of onions that slipped about 26%. 20%. The prices of fruits witnessed a spike of 29.4% last month from a 20.3% in June, while that of milk eased to a 5.5% versus a 6.3% a month ago. And in a separate data released on Friday, we also saw the country's retail inflation also had eased to a 5-month low of 6.71%, slipping below the 7% mark for the first time since April. Also looking at these downward trends of the data of both WPI and CPI, most of the experts believe that inflation may finally be peaking out. So therefore, common man could finally hope for some easing of the sky-high stock prices of food and vegetable and fuel and electricity going forward from here as well. So good news coming in for retail investors and for the consumers too.
Indian cryptocurrency exchanges have fallen into a lot of trouble in the recent past. Regulatory scrutiny, fall in trading volumes, resistance from banking partners, and volatile markets are some of the concerns of KYC-compliant Indian crypto exchanges. Let's head across to our crypto reporter Akanksha Chaturvedi on how some Indian exchanges are faring currently.
Let's start with WazirX. After ED's probe on the exchange, crypto giant Binance denied ever acquiring the exchange. This has left 15 million Indian crypto investors in limbo. WRX token, which was native to the exchange, has also dropped 15% since the feud broke out. Next on our list is Vault. Vault, which is a crypto exchange as well as a lending platform, came into trouble with the ED. ED froze 370 crore worth rupees bank assets held by the exchange. Moreover, the exchange is in a $70 million deficit since its assets stand at $330 million and its liabilities stand at $400 million. Next on our list is BitBNS. This exchange has halted all INR withdrawals because of bottlenecks. The exchange founder came on record and said that one of their bank accounts has been frozen by the cybercrime police cell and hence they are unable to fulfill all INR withdrawals. All these incidents have put all Indian crypto investors at unease. We spoke to CoinCrunch India's founder Nemish Sanghvi. This is what he told us.
Pragmatically speaking, the funds are never truly safe when they are on an exchange. It's always advised that if you are a long-term investor, you should move your funds out of the exchange and keep it in self-custody. So you should be controlling the funds. You should have the wallet that you control, right? And the fund should be in those. Now, again, the other part of the coin is that not everyone has the expertise to do that. And hence they sort of, keep their funds in exchanges. They want exposure to crypto, and that's the reason for it. In that case, right, it becomes nobody sort of estimates that a regulatory authority will come down heavily on an exchange and freeze the funds that would otherwise belong to the users, right? You could have still predicted, Vault exchange going into bankruptcy or, trying to apply for a moratorium. But no one expected an ED to come down heavy on exchanges and, freeze the funds of the exchanges. So now if ED is doing that, so we don't know if, other exchanges will be affected or not, or how soon or how later ED will go after them.
A few years ago, we saw a digital payments revolution in India in the form of UPI. The Indian government has similar plans in the e-commerce space, calling it OnDC, Open Network for Digital Commerce. Our tech editor Ayush Alabadi spoke to the man behind this revolution, Mr. T. Koshi. Listen in.
Since we're talking about digital monopolies, two companies that I have to talk about are Flipkart and Amazon. These are companies that enjoy a massive market share respectively here in India. Should they be worried about ONDC's plan, or do they stand to benefit in any way from the introduction of ONDC?
Let me just look at it a little deeper, Ayush. I understand that this 2 or 3 and probably as some predicted in the next 2 or 3 years, 4 entities can technically have 90% of the market share. But if you really look at what's the penetration of digital commerce in India, 7% or less than that? What is the penetration among the seller side? It's 1%. So India is not just this upper cream of the society, which is, people like you and I belong to. But India is very, very large, and a diverse segment of users and diverse segments of merchants are there. And we need to enable all of them to be digitally present and engage in transaction among themselves of the products they like at the service level they want and the kind of delivery schedules they want and so on and so forth. So what ONDC will enable is, like in the case of physical market, a disciplined marketplace where all segments of sellers and buyers can come together. So in that sense, this is like we started with saying, it's a democratization. And the large players, in a way, even if I am in their place, may be uncomfortable because it's bringing more competition. But they understand that is going to be inevitable. And that's a line that we have taken as a country, that our marketplaces are going to be, democratic. And probably you might have seen international media in the recent past very keenly recognizing, acknowledging, and even waiting whether and how we are going to succeed, because they feel that it is going to be a global example.
And that's all we could pack into this edition. Thanks so much for watching. Good night.
Black holes. Did you ever worry that Earth could get sucked into one of them? Black holes do have a massive gravitational pull that allows it to swallow anything that gets in its way. Let's find out more about them. Black holes have been lurking in the galaxies for billions of years. The most powerful known forces in the universe, their gravitational field is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape from them. They're actually packed full of space matter, so they're not really holes. There are at least two types of black holes. Stellar mass black holes form when a huge star, more than 10 times bigger than our Sun, burns up all its fuel and collapses in on itself. Scientists say there could be billions in our galaxy, the Milky Way alone. They grow by gobbling up other stars or merging with other black holes to become a supermassive black hole, millions to billions of times bigger than the Sun. Humans can't even see black holes, but we can observe their effect on matter close by. When normal stars are sucked in, they accelerate and heat up, emitting X-rays which are detected by orbiting space telescopes.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.